Hello everybody, Jeff here, hope you're doing well. I'd just like to do a video talking about a song history, song backstory, and it's the title track off my new album. It's called Glow Your Own Star, and it does have a backstory because it goes way back really, and it goes back to 2017, and at that time I was living in Canada, rural Nova Scotia actually, and middle of nowhere really, and living off the land. And I can picture myself sitting outside. I built a plastic lean-to greenhouse on the other side of the kitchen, and so I can picture myself sitting there. I used to sit there and do my list of appreciation in the greenhouse, you know, over a load of kale growing, and I'd just sit there with all the plants and loving it really. And what I would do, I would spend the days working the gardens and fixing up the house a little bit and just doing stuff. There's always something to do. In the summer it'd be probably fetching water because the well used to run out, so we used to have to go to the well and fetch the water, old-fashioned way, but it was quite a walk. But I would spend the daytimes doing this stuff, but in the evening I would write music, and at that particular time I was experimenting with trance music. Anyway, throughout the day, if ever while I was working, I would often come up with tunes, and every time I came up with a tune I would just get my phone out and just record it into my phone. I think it was summer 2017. I'm working on the land, and all of a sudden I got a tune in my mind, and I put it to my phone, and what I normally do, if they don't come with lyrics, did it come with lyrics? I don't know. Anyway, if they don't come with lyrics, I just make something up. Anyway, the tune that I had was basically the tune for Glow Your Own Star, but I called it You Don't Have to Be Mad, and meaning you don't have to be mad, you don't have to be angry, you don't have to be like that. No, you don't have to be crazy, you don't have to be mad. So I did a little bit of work on it, and it was going to be a trance track because I was writing trance at the time. So for some reason, when I saved it, I've got the old file up here from 2017, and when I saved it I called it Mad Bones. I don't know why I called it Mad Bones. Anyway, at that particular time I was really struggling writing lyrics. I just went through a period, nothing would really come out, so I wrote loads and loads of tunes, loads of songs, but I was struggling with lyrics for some reason, and I ended up writing a lot of mantras, and I couldn't really think of anything to do with it. I couldn't really think of any lyrics. Anyway, I'll play you how it was. Play you what I had anyway. It's interesting. There's no drums on it because I've updated my Cubase, and the drums didn't reload in the new version, so it don't really matter. You can get a gist of it. know everything is alright. So what's that bit then? Is that the other? So I changed it all around because I think I split it up into different, basically there's 3 sections, and I split each section up and looked at the key for each individual section, because that part there I just played, that's really low, and the rest of it's fine, but then it dips into a different key. So what I did, I took that section and changed the key of it. Did a bit of work on it. Anyway, that's how it started. Play a bit of the new one so you can compare it.
You don't need to be rich. You don't need the right pitch. Gotta be who you are. You can glow your own star. Time is moving along, and life is like a song about spring that has sprung, and it needs to be sung. You don't need to be woke. You don't have to be broke. Gotta be who you are. You can glow your own star.
Maybe I'll take the new version and do a trance version of it sometime. Don't know, because I quite like that. Anyway, that's basically what I had in 2017. No lyrics really, apart from you don't have to be mad, you don't have to be bad, I guess. You don't have to be sad, maybe. It's not very good really. And I couldn't really do anything with it, so I left it. And then this year, I was doing the album, working on the album, and I thought, I need another song really. I just need something. And so I was scrolling back through a lot of my past works that I hadn't finished off, and I found that, I thought, that's interesting, I wonder what I could do with that. So I redid it. I think I changed all the key around, and I changed it into a different, I think I did it half time in the end, and just changed it. And then I wrote some lyrics for it, but I'd never had the hook line. I never had Glow Your Own Star, and I didn't know what I was going to call it. And I was saying to my daughter, you know what, I'm just going to scrap it. It's just not working. It's really not. And then next minute I played it, and I just thought, got Glow Your Own Star, and then it just came together, and I think it turned out lovely. I think it's one of the best songs on the album really. But that's how it started, and it's interesting because that's how I work. I get the inspiration for something, and I get a tune, and then I work on it and try to get as much out as I can, and try to get the bones of it really. I guess that maybe that's why I called it Mad Bones. Get the bones of it, and then once it starts to become forced, and I start to run dry or something, if it usually happens, then I just go, okay, well, just leave it, because I want to come back to it fresh. But what sometimes happens is that I don't pick them up again for years, because I'm always doing something else, and that. So this one got left, and maybe it was just not the right time for it. So let me know what you think, because I think it works better as a trance track, or is it better as a song? I think the reason that I changed it from a trance track, is that at the time when I was doing these in 2017, I was going to go out DJing, and I bought a DJ rig, and I was making uplifting trance music that I could go out and do DJing with. But I never really pursued it, to be honest. I could never really get the feel for it. If you look back on my channel to that period, there's some songs from around that period. Money Magnet, I'm thinking, And some of the songs, when you scroll through the videos and you scroll to the end, the oldest, there was a lot of songs there that is kind of trancey, and they're from that period, because it's when I was writing trance music, and I started off doing instrumentals, but then I thought, started to come up with lyrics, and most of them are mantras, repeating, but they do have singing on them, and but they are trancey. And so I think what I found was a little bit of a limitation, because I'm a singer. I love to go out singing songs, and it's hard to busk with them when they're like that, really. I think it would be. I think it would be hard. What do you think? It would be hard to busk with them when they're like that. Do you think it would be? I guess if I was going to do a nighttime gig in a club or something, I could pull them up and do the trance versions there. So they'd probably go down well there. But in the street, I don't know if it would transpire very well. I think the jazzy version's probably better for singing in the street. But then also I can do acoustic versions as well with my guitar. So it's just different versions I could do. So let me know what you think. Do you think it's better as a trance, or do you think it's better as a jazzy? And let me know in the comments. Be interested to see what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching, and take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, and as always, love and light. Peace.